You guys have always been asking me where I get my wallpapers.
So it seems that every day now a well-established YouTuber tries to cash in and launch something new through their brand. And more often than not, it fails miserably. But why do they keep making the same mistake, and how could they do better? If this week in YouTube couldn't get any worse, Marquise Brownlee of all people decided that a mediocre mobile app was worth ruining his reputation for. If you haven't heard already, he released, or better yet, reskinned a super basic wallpaper app and marked it as the start of something big. And even though he's probably the biggest person in tech reviews right now, when you look at the pricing for the whole thing, it starts looking like a sham. For starters, Marquise has always been one to critique half-baked products that promise to deliver later on. Like his Fisker Ocean review, where his video definitely played a big part in bankrupting the car company after he shit-talked their lackluster car software, and refused to take down his review when they promised to ship an improved version of the software later on. So when he charges $50 a year for a product he claims will evolve in the future, it sounds pretty hypocritical and out of touch with reality. If you search up the app on the App Store, you will see that it's nearly topped the charts. So it doesn't seem like it's doing all that bad, until you look closer and you see a solid 2-star rating. On release, when you first entered, you would be prompted with a bunch of insane permission requests and immediately engulfed in ads. I mean, sure, he's got to pay the bills somehow, but how many people would rather delete the app at that point than pay $50? And the wallpapers themselves aren't even that good, ironically. You have to subscribe in order to make them look good on any device made after 2010, and MKBHD did eventually reply to the whole mess, tuning down the ads and fixing the permission issues. But he still doubles down on the pricing, and Pinky promises that he's got a bunch of things planned out for the future. And it just seems he's enclosed in a bubble and won't take any proper criticism. Sure, the wallpapers market is pretty small, and paying artists it's not that easy. But could he not have single-handedly changed that by making it adequately priced? Maybe he'll deliver something cool in the next update. Or maybe he should use his own advice next time he tries to launch a product. I'd much rather pay my Spotify or Netflix subscription than go into debt for a wallpaper app. And like everybody's seen, Lunchly was an absolute mess. And it's also a good example of why not to put out garbage to your fans. To summarize it quickly, KSI, Mr. Beast and Logan Paul launched their own Lunchable rival called Lunchly, made up of all that garbage food they've released over the years, and the whole thing was just lazy and clearly targeted at kids who can't make logical decisions on their own. And just like everything they've ever made, it just seems like some random company had approached them and paid them enough money to slap their names on a box and call it a day. Maybe they should have also invested in a PR team, because shit hit the fan when the internet called them out. And every response made by the three just dug even further into their graves and gave us one more reason to not trust YouTubers with our money. And it is sad to see YouTubers who do put out good content fall into this trap. It's not wrong for them to capitalize on their own brands, but when they launch a product, it should to some extent A, tie into their existing brand, and B, line up with their beliefs and characters. When creators choose to ignore these when launching something, most people see right through it, primarily adults. Children, on the other hand, will blindly trust creators simply because they don't know any better. In many places, advertising to children under the age of 13 is just straight up illegal, simply because it works so well. However, in the case of Lunchly, for example, the majority of their fanbase falls below that age, and they get to plug their products with no consequences. And it's blatantly obvious that they want to take advantage of this, seeing how they're selling a product that only kids this young would find appealing. So to reiterate, Lunchly, apart from including the slop they've marketed to kids before, has very little to do with KSI and Logan Paul's content. And judging by their previous actions, they've never been about helping people, or whatever they're trying to peddle. Most evident in Logan's string of crypto scams that cost people millions of dollars and engulfed him in several lawsuits. Not to mention Prime's lead contamination allegation earlier this year. But it doesn't have to be this way. Now just look at my boy Arak, a fairly popular creator who did something truly unique. He launched a pizza sauce. This may sound pretty weird if you have no idea who he is, but to put it simply, pizza has always been a recurring theme in his content. He's done countless videos situated around pizza, launched a pizza restaurant, and even broke a pizza world record. All of this is already impressive in its own right. But the point is that he is committed to the bit and launched a product that is clearly fit within his brand. And he didn't just slap his name on a jar of marinara sauce. He developed a product from scratch that could supposedly make anything taste like pizza. So why is this a success story? He got his fans absorbed into the bit and created something crazy that was totally in character and related to the content he creates. It wasn't just about buying a product, it was being a part of an experience. Now compare that to MKBHD's Wallpaper app. He claims to have released the app due to a large amount of requests he gets for the wallpaper used in his videos. And to start off, that does seem like a valid reason to create the app. So sure, you could say that it ties into his content somewhat, but was that really the best solution? Lots of people think that a simple Discord channel would have been sufficient for such a basic idea. But you can't blame MKBHD for being ambitious. We don't know what he has planned for the app yet, but you can definitely blame him for not releasing it on the app launch. For someone who seems to care so much about the quality and usefulness of other products, it just seemed hypocritical and entirely out of character to drop something so mediocre. But if we were to look at Panels as it stands right now, what could Marquis have done to improve his chances? For starters, he should probably get off his high horse and price it fairly for what it is, a wallpaper app that you're probably only going to use once or twice a month, if ever. If not even your diehard fans are willing to let this slide, it probably isn't a good idea to continue on this route. And instead of spamming the users with ads and still asking them to pay for certain wallpapers, maybe users could watch like an ad or two to unlock a premium wallpaper, or at least get a free one at 4K resolution. But in the end, these are all just basic suggestions off the top of my head. If I could think of these, surely he can. And if he's not willing to change it, let's see how long this app lasts. You could argue that the potential is there, but the app right now does not even fit in his own standards. Okay, so like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and feel free to share your thoughts and opinion down in the comment section. And now you can also join our Discord server in the description below.